Hello, welcome lovelies. This is the podcast 5 Minute Manifesting, and I'm your host, Lovey Brown. I'm a manifesting coach and an infinite creator, and I want you to manifest whatever you desire in this life. In an earlier episode, I talked about manifesting small things or things that seem small from our human perspective. Remember, the universe is infinite and abundant, and all of it is already created. Actually, when I called myself an infinite creator at the beginning of the podcast, that's just a little bit of a misnomer. What I really am is an infinite selector. All of creation is finished, and now we get to select the experiences and relationships we want with our focus and beliefs. Now, depending on where you are in your manifesting journey, you may not have noticed how focus affects your reality. So, it's a great thing to practice. So briefly, the steps of manifesting are focus on what you want and then let go and detach of the outcome. There are other steps you can add to clarify your internal world as well as help your thoughts and feelings align, letting go of resistance and whatnot. But strictly speaking, focus and detachment will get you there. Today I want to tell you about one of the ways I have practiced for years. So every day I manifest or I attempt to align and select 3 pennies. I do this for several reasons. Number one, it's fun. I just really love finding pennies. It feels good to me. I especially love finding pennies on heads with the year 2014. Number 2, the manifesting process I use helps me to know and understand how I am feeling and how my other manifestations may be going. So if I'm anxious about my penny manifestation one day, maybe that's tuning me in to know oh, maybe there's something going on so I can clarify. So let me see if I can explain this a little bit better. Deliberate manifestors can sometimes become anxious in the manifesting process, especially if you don't fully trust the manifesting process yet. And even after you trust the process, your feelings are going to fluctuate on a day-to-day basis and sometimes even an hour-to-hour or moment-to-moment basis. Sometimes I can tell how I'm feeling when I go through my pennies process. When I first started this practice several years ago, there would be times when I would think, oh no, what if the pennies don't come today? Or I would even tell myself that if I didn't find 3 pennies, that manifesting didn't work. What I learned through this daily practice is manifesting does work. I find 3 pennies or more almost every single day, and I have for years and years. And when I do feel anxious about the pennies not coming, it's a chance to practice self-soothing. Recently, I noticed that it had been a while since I had found any pennies. I had done 0 focusing, so I understood why. And then when I tried to focus, it was just a very, very short amount of time. You don't really need to focus that much. Remember, this is 5-minute manifesting after all. So in the morning or whenever I think of it throughout the day, I just briefly imagine finding a penny. And then I drop it and I go about my day. After I realized it had been a couple of weeks without finding any pennies, I focused. And the pennies returned. In fact, yesterday, I found 1 penny while walking my dog. I was delighted for a moment, and then I stuck the penny in my pocket and we continued our walk. Later in our walk, I reached down in my pocket and I felt the penny. I had already forgotten about it, and when I touched it, I was delighted all over again and was just feeling grateful for that penny. And that's when I looked down and noticed 2 more pennies on the ground. There it was. That's what I wanted. Exactly 3 pennies. I was so thrilled. And all of the good feelings associated with that manifestation lasted with me into the night and even into today. And even just retelling this story now for the podcast, I get that good feeling again. So this is a good thing to try to see how manifesting affects your feelings and how you can tell if you're trying to manifest something small, how you can soothe yourself. It's a good way to practice. There are days when I don't align enough to find 3 pennies or even 1 penny. And by practicing this, I'm able to soothe myself. And those skills translated well when I was aligning to manifest a text message from my specific person and a relationship with my specific person, both of which I now have. May you also get exactly what you want. Have a great day. Bye-bye.